great honor and privilege to express my views on the notion full capital account convertibility in India. As many of my friends have discussed on the same, I would like to ask you one thing. I need your attention, please. I would like to ask you one thing. How much do you really understand the term what the capital account convertibility in India is? Feel free to raise your hand, please. Shocking. Well, thanks for your support. Before I start with the conceptual part, just imagine a picture. On one of my hands, I have a rupee, and on the other one, I have all international currencies. I need to convert rupee into dollar or pound or any other currencies, and vice versa. This process is called convertibility. Then what is capital account convertibility? Let's have a look on the definition part first. Capital account convertibility is the freedom to convert local financial assets into foreign financial assets at the market determined exchange rates, led by SS Tarako committee. We will discuss it later on. To explain more the term capital account, I need to compare it with current account. Let's get some practical. Vijay Mallya wants to import cars. Yes, he can do so. My fellow members have already told this. Because import and exports are being treated as the current account transactions and they are fully permitted for India. And vice versa. Just focus on the words vice versa. That means Mr. Obama, being inspired by Modi, wants to wear khadi. Yes, we can do this. Okay. Now switch to the capital part. Mallya needs to raise funds to resume his Kingfisher. Can we do this? Let's discuss. Indian government along with the SBI has prohibited to lend more money to Mallya and his Kingfisher. Then what are the options with him? He can raise funds from foreign under external commercial borrowings. Yes, he can do this because India has partial convertibility of rupee in its capital account transactions. Just focus. I use the term partial convertibility. I'll refer you to FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act. Well, I'm talking about Mallya, the aviation sector. FEMA has restricted that aviation sector can only borrow an amount up to $1 billion per year. And if I talk about individual companies, the restrictions are up to $300 million per year. Okay. This was the conceptual part, basically the comparison between capital account and the current account transactions. Now that we have understood this, I need to get into more details. Whenever we talk about capital account convertibility, there is a name that always gets stuck into our mind. That is SS Tarako. He was the chairperson of the committee, and under whose supervision the committee was formed. He was in favor of this policy, capital account convertibility. Hereinafter, I will refer it as CAC. I repeat, I will call capital account convertibility as CAC in my speech. What did he state? He stated that this policy will lead to the freedom of conversion of local currencies into another currencies, resulting in ease of FDIs, FIIs, and ECBs that will lead to expansion of business and job creation. On its counterpart, there is a name, H.R. Khan. Currently, he is the Deputy Governor of the RBI. He opposed it by stating that there was a study made by IMF, International Monetary Fund, which did not find such type of correlations between ECBs and the job creations. Okay? The next point which Tarako said in its favor, CAC will lead to reduction in inflation rate. I ask you one more thing. Do you really think that Indian inflation is because of such type of policies? No, I don't think. I think that Indian inflation is basically because of the political instability. Just tell me one thing. I need your concentration, please. Do you think black mafia plays an important role in Indian inflation? Yes or no, guys? Black mafia, do you really think that they plays an important role in Indian inflation?
Yes.
Until unless we are unable to stop the scams, the CAG, not the CAG auditor, the corruption gains. Until unless we are unable to stop these, we are unable to reduce our inflation rate. The next point which Tara said in his favor was the freedom of CAC related to the mobility of foreign currencies into international markets. Khan was agreed with this, but he said excess mobility is bad for the economy, and he explained this by using the term East Asian crisis that occurred in late 90s, that is 1997. What is this? In 1997, there was a countries like Malaysia, Thailand, South Korea, and Indonesia who have permitted their capital accounts to be converted fully, resulting in their high amount of foreign exchange reserves and the GDP growth rate, and of course the per capita income was too at its peak. But soon there was a companies, and I named them. There was Kia Motors, one of the automobile company, and the Semi Steels. It's a steel company of Thailand. They declared their bankruptcy, resulting in the divestment of foreign investment from such similar companies of those markets. And this bankruptcy and divestment had such an adverse effect on foreign currencies like Indonesian rupiah, which fell down from a level of 2,000 Indonesian rupiah per US dollar to 18,000 US dollar to 18,000 Indonesian rupiah per US dollar. And yes, my friend, it is pronounced as Indonesian rupiah. This depreciation in Indonesian currency resulted in high inflation, political instability, and of course, these countries are such countries, those are based on import of crude oils, resulting in release of foreign exchange reserves, which disturbed their balance of payment and led to balance of payment crisis of those countries. What are the effects of these? Were not only the effects that we can stop here. In 1998, their GDP growth was measured, and then Thailand marks its GDP growth at the rate of 9.4%, negative GDP growth, while Indonesia made a mark of 13.7% negative growth, because these are fully convertible countries. Whereas if we talk about India and China, these both countries having their GDP at 6 and 8% respectively, because they didn't allow the capital accounts to be converted fully. This was the conceptual part I need to talk about. Does it mean is India ready or not? Does it mean we cannot implement it? No, I am not saying that. Tara committee had some parameters, like everyone had discussed, the fiscal deficit to be less than 3.5%, gross NPAs to be less than 5%, the average inflation rate of last 3 years should lie between 3 to 5%. CRR to be maintained at a level of 8%, and of course, the NF forex serves to sustain international market at least for 6 months. Tara talk in percentage terms, that means I can correlate this with today's scenario also. And unluckily, we don't fulfill these parameters even after 20 years of that committee. Now, as a concluding part, I'd like to take a very reliable name in Indian economy. I believe in him, and it is Mr. Raghuram Rajan. What did he say about capital account convertibility in India? This was a statement of April 2015. He said that yes, India is not yet ready to get into capital account convertibility immediately, but my hope is we will get into capital account convertibility, but in a short number of years. With this, I would like to end my case. Thank you and namaskar.